I got scolded the other day by someone who said that it's wrong of me to tell people that their vote doesn't matter and that I'm playing into the hands of the establishment. That's what the establishment wants. I respectfully have to disagree. The establishment spends probably billions at this point, millions upon millions of dollars every election season, and in this case, in the years leading up to this election, on propaganda and pushing your buttons to try and get you to continue to vote, to scare you into voting, to legitimize what is essentially a completely illegitimate system with your vote, as if your vote actually matters for anything. But that being said, Hillary Clinton just made a comment at a fundraiser that I think essentially proves what I'm saying is true. Because she obviously thinks that it's rigged in her favor. She obviously doesn't think she's actually running for president. She obviously thinks she's got this in the bag. Or else she wouldn't be saying things like this. Watch.
Grossly generalistic. You could put half of Trump's supporters into what I call the basket of deplorables. Right? The racist, sexist, homophobic, xenophobic, Islamophobic, you name it.
Okay, so that would be presidential candidate. I have to do derisive air quotes because there's no other way. I can't physically talk about this. That would be presidential candidate Hillary Clinton at a fundraiser that she knew was going to be televised, using a teleprompter, insulting millions of Americans. I mean, they're saying Donald Trump probably has 10 to 20 million supporters, but even if you lowball it, that's still 5 million Americans that Hillary Clinton basically just insulted, wrote off, and talked about as if they were subhuman creatures.
Half of Trump's supporters into what I call the basket of deplorables. Right?
That is not something a presidential candidate who actually thinks they're in a race to get votes would ever do. Ever. Because as we all know, our presidential elections are based on pandering. They're based on candidates going around from town to town and trying to schmooze people and connect with voters by saying things like, "Hey, Milwaukee, so glad I'm back here in Milwaukee. I love that thing that Milwaukee has. It's awesome. Don't you? Because you live here, Milwaukee people." I mean, that's what candidates do. That's what presidential candidates do, who actually think they're in a race to try and get votes to become president. Hillary Clinton obviously does not think she has to do any of that anymore.
Right?
You know, sadly, the first thing that came to mind when I saw the clip was actually the comments that the Larry Grathwohl, the FBI informant who infiltrated the Weather Underground, that he made about Bill Ayers starting up re-education camps when they took over the country.
They also believed that their immediate responsibility would be to protect against what they called the counter-revolution. They felt that this counter-revolution could best be guarded against by creating and establishing re-education centers in the Southwest, where we would take all the people who needed to be re-educated into the new way of thinking and teach them how things were going to be.
And so I know that I'm on that list. And gee, I can't wait. I hope it comes with a free pantsuit t-shirt. You have to think to yourself that even people like Kim Jong-un probably don't get up in front of the whole country and say things like, "Half of you are a basket of deplorables."
친애하는 동지들.
He probably doesn't even say things like that. But here's a candidate for president saying things like that? No, I'm sorry. No, I don't think so. Obviously, she already made her deal a really long time ago. And it's almost like she's letting everybody know it now. So I think she's getting pretty fed up with everything. And she's just down to the wire. It's getting late in the game. And she already knows the fix is in. So she's just going to say whatever the hell she wants to. Either that or she's openly trying to lose. It can only be one of those two things. Because there's no possible way after watching that anyone can look at Hillary Clinton and still think she's a candidate for president.